I get to play basketball. Like, they pay me to play basketball. Like, why wouldn't I be happy about that?
2 days ago, he sat out because of arthritis, his 18th game. Today, these are the comments we're saying is unbelievable what LeBron can do. Wendy, what did you make of last night?
Now, as I watch it, I say, how many more years can we get out of him? Because if he's at 41 and he's going to have a triple-double, he's going to hold down the fort while Luka Doncic is out. If he can still do this, why wouldn't we allow him to do it for as long as he can?
When LeBron James is great, the Lakers have the potential to knock off some people. How come we can't fantasize about that? You got to get with the soap opera. You got to get with the soap opera program right there.
LeBron James just pulled off something that honestly does not even make sense in the normal laws of basketball aging, becoming the oldest player in NBA history to record a triple-double in a league where most stars are either fading fast or fully washed by their mid-30s. And he did it at a point in the season when the Lakers desperately needed a stabilizing force before the All-Star break. With Luka Doncic out and the team fighting to stay strong in the Western Conference playoff race, this was not some empty stat line in a meaningless game. It was a high-leverage performance from a 41-year-old man who has already played longer than entire NBA careers and is somehow still producing at a level that would be impressive for a player in his prime. That is what makes this so absurd. LeBron is not surviving out there on reputation. He is still bending games to his will. He has seen generations of players come and go, faced legends who are now long retired, watched franchises rebuild from the ground up, and yet he is still the guy stepping forward in critical moments while players nearly half his age try to keep up. The craziest part is that he does not even make it sound dramatic. He talks like he is still just a kid having fun, still just playing the game he loves, while everybody else is staring at the numbers and trying to figure out how someone dealing with arthritis can miss a game, rest for a couple of days, then come back and drop a triple-double like it is just another night at the office. Arthritis is supposed to be the kind of thing that slows regular people down getting out of bed, not something an athlete pushes through before dominating elite professionals. That is why the conversation around him has shifted so hard. Earlier in the year, people were talking about retirement, farewell tours, and whether the league was finally witnessing the slow decline of LeBron James. Now the tone has completely changed because this is no longer about nostalgia, it is about impact. If a 41-year-old can still control the tempo of a game, still make winning plays, still carry a playoff hopeful team when another star is sidelined, then the question is not when he should stop, it is how much longer this can possibly continue. And when you zoom out, it changes the entire way the Lakers should be viewed. There is the cautious perspective that says this season is transitional, that the organization is slowly shifting toward Luka as the long-term centerpiece, that new ownership and structural changes are coming, and that this year should simply be appreciated for the moments it gives. That is the calm and reasonable view, but it also ignores the dangerous truth sitting right in front of everybody. When LeBron still plays like this, the Lakers are not just a sentimental story, they are a legitimate threat. A healthy roster with LeBron, Luka, and Anthony Davis has real teeth, especially in a Western Conference where the standings are crowded. Contenders have shown vulnerability, and matchups can swing a series in unexpected ways. The gap between seeds is not enormous, the remaining schedule is manageable compared to some of the teams ahead of them, and if LeBron keeps producing games like this while the roster gets healthier, there is a real path for the Lakers to climb into better playoff position and become the kind of opponent nobody wants to draw. What makes it even more fascinating is that the raw season averages can trick people into thinking he is declining more than he really is. His minutes are down, his scoring is at its lowest point in years, his three-point percentage is not great, and his rebounding is lower than the ridiculous standards he set for himself. But those numbers are only alarming if you ignore the context. What they really suggest is that LeBron has mastered a new version of greatness. He is not trying to dominate every possession in November or burn himself out chasing meaningless regular season peaks. He is pacing himself, preserving energy, picking moments, and playing the long game. He has turned regular season management into an art form. That is why the triple-double matters so much. It is proof that the lower averages are not simply signs of decline, they are signs of adaptation. He has accepted that he cannot be 28-year-old LeBron every night, so instead he has become something arguably even more terrifying for the league, an aging superstar who knows exactly when to conserve and exactly when to strike. Most aging greats lose themselves fighting the inevitable, clinging to the same style while their bodies quietly betray them. LeBron has done the opposite. He has evolved into a smarter, more selective, and more surgical force, someone who can still take over games without pretending he has to do it every night. That is why this performance hit so hard. It was not just history for history's sake. It was a reminder that even now, even at 41, even with the mileage, the injuries, and the absurd expectations, he is still capable of being the best player on the floor in a game that matters. And that puts the NBA in a weird position because by every normal historical standard, LeBron should either be retired or reduced to a limited veteran role. Instead, he is still out here changing playoff races, recording milestones, and outperforming players in their supposed prime. That is not normal greatness anymore. That is something stranger and rarer. It means the Lakers are living in two realities at once. One where the future is slowly shifting toward Luka and organizational change, and another where the present is still being violently interrupted by LeBron James refusing to age on schedule. Maybe they are not title favorites, maybe the odds still lean against them. But can they make noise, win a series, scare a contender, or wreck somebody's postseason plans? Absolutely. And the reason is simple. LeBron at 41 is still better than most stars are at their absolute peak. That sounds ridiculous until he goes out and proves it again. So no, this was not just a cute record or a nice little pre-break headline. This was a warning shot. The oldest player ever to record a triple-double did not just make history, he reminded the entire league that Father Time may still be undefeated, but LeBron James is making him earn every single inch. This is not a negative at all, and that is exactly the point people keep missing when they look at LeBron James' numbers without context, because if this stat line belonged to almost anyone else in the league, it would be celebrated as outstanding production. But because it is LeBron, it gets framed as decline when in reality it is just another reflection of how absurdly high his standard has always been. The slight dip does not expose weakness, it highlights greatness, because it shows just how elevated his peak was for so long that even a reduced version of him still sits comfortably among elite players. What makes it even more impressive is the way he has adjusted his entire approach to the game, evolving from a player who once carried the full burden every single night into someone who understands exactly when to push and when to conserve. He is no longer trying to dominate every possession from start to finish like he did during his Cleveland years or his early run in Miami. And that is not a sign of decline, it is a sign of intelligence. He has figured out how to become a part-time superstar in the regular season while still being a full-time closer when the moment demands it, and that level of awareness is what separates him from most aging stars. Instead of resisting the natural changes in his body, he has adapted to them, reshaped his game, and turned himself into a more calculated and efficient weapon. Where others fade trying to hold on to their old identity, LeBron has built a new one, and that is why nights like that triple-double performance stand out so much. The Lakers needed that win, especially without Luka available, and with playoff positioning hanging in the balance, every game carried weight, and LeBron responded exactly the way only he can. After a couple of days of rest, he stepped onto the court, controlled the flow, and delivered a performance that looked effortless, almost casual, as if he was simply enjoying himself rather than grinding through the physical demands of a 41-year-old body. There was no visible strain, no frustration, no hints that he is nearing the end, just pure enjoyment of the game, like a kid who still loves to play. That joy matters more than anything, because as long as it is there, there is no real reason for him to stop. And that is what puts the NBA in such a strange position, because by every traditional measure, a player at this stage of his career should be slowing down dramatically or transitioning into a limited role, but LeBron is still capable of being the best player on a playoff team, still able to take over games, still writing new chapters in a career that already defies logic. So the real conversation is no longer about whether he can keep playing, because performances like this answer that question clearly. The real debate is about expectations. Should this Lakers team be treated as a transitional group where moments like these are simply appreciated, or should they be taken seriously as a potential threat in the postseason? The truth is, it can be both. You can recognize how rare and improbable it is for a 41-year-old to produce at this level while also acknowledging that a team featuring LeBron playing like this is not one anyone wants to face. Those ideas do not contradict each other, they coexist. And the uncomfortable reality for the rest of the league is that even now, even with lower averages and a more measured workload, LeBron James is still outperforming players in their prime when the stakes rise. There are all-stars, max contract players, and rising talents across the league, and yet when the moment demands control, he can still step in and outshine them. That is not normal. That is something far beyond the usual arc of an athlete's career. It forces everyone to rethink what aging in basketball is supposed to look like. And while the Lakers may not be the favorites to win it all, while the odds may still lean against them, the idea that they can make noise, that they can disrupt expectations, that they can beat teams they are not supposed to beat, becomes very real as long as LeBron can still summon performances like that. This was not just a record or a feel-good headline, it was a statement that he is still here, still capable, and still dangerous. Father Time may remain undefeated in the long run, but LeBron James continues to delay the inevitable, stretching the limits of what anyone thought possible, and as long as he keeps doing that, counting him out is a mistake nobody should be making.